So this is part 7 of God's story. Told by me. My testimony. God is good. He loves you. When I say he loves you, it doesn't matter what you do. What you did, who you think you are. See, God knows the real you. He knows the person he created. He knows the person that you're going to be. You have a purpose. There's a reason. Whether you see it or not. Whether you understand it or not. I never understood why I always was allowed to live. Why all the times that people tried to kill me. Incidents tried to kill me. Why the demons tried to kill me. Why was I allowed to live? Why are you just hanging me on? Why are you just stringing me along? This world's crap. People are cruel and mean. All the pain and suffering. Through all this, I still was a very kind person. Still am. I'll do anything for anybody. I never want to see anybody in any pain. I never want to see anybody suffer. And as tough as I am, well, I'll put you in your place real quick. I'll give you the shirt off my back. People still took advantage. I thought my kindness was weakness. Oh, I wasn't weak by no means. In fact, I was letting you see how dumb you thought I was, which made me more mad. And I'm like, that's okay. You can keep being that way. Karma's gonna get you. I ain't worried about it. But just because you wanted to be a jerk does not mean I'm gonna stop being me because of who you are. And I'd be darned if I'm gonna be a person like you that always were. Somebody's gotta be nice. Somebody's gotta keep this positive going in the world because there's too much negativity, too much evil. And if anybody can do it, because it's a hard job, because people just suck, then I was the only one that had the balls to do it. So that's why I just kept on keeping on. Kept giving and kept being me. Well, my husband was killed. That money, I didn't know what to do with it, so I bought my kids' houses so that they could never be homeless like I was. Whether they lived in it or they rented it out to pay for the homes that they was going to live in, they had that. Well, during COVID and all that stuff started happening, when I kicked my daughter out of my house because of how her and her husband was being and how they was, just thought they could do whatever they wanted to. And I was corrupting my oldest boy with selling stuff at school and everything like that. We got into it, so they threatened to leave, so I said, leave. I've always been the one that, I'm not going to beg you to stay. So they was like, oh, you throwing us out? I'm like, I ain't gonna beg you to stay. You can go. Be best if you go then. Well, they just threatened that they would just ruin my life and take everything they had. And I said, go ahead, try it. So, they've been robbing me. Turns out that he's all into witchcraft, that Santa whatever. Not Santa Claus, but Santa Morte. I don't know what it's called, but, it's demonic. It's witchcraft. It's a big thing here in San Antonio, California. He's Spanish, and so he's like this warlock, and he astral projects, and so for like 4 years, they've been robbing me blind. Taking everything I got. Lost all my property. I went from an 800 credit score to like it's nothing, so I can't go out there and get back my own place if I wanted to. And I knew after a while God was telling me that somebody was doing something, that I wasn't just keep getting hacked by complete strangers. It just didn't seem right. But God started showing me And he's always been there. He's always told me. That's why I always knew about the government, always knew about the food. You know, I just didn't quite know it was God telling me. I just assumed I was crazy all these years. So if you was to ever get a hold of my old Facebook page from like 7 years ago, the last post you'd see when me talking crap about how COVID was fake and everybody laughed at me, how the food was fake and everybody kept laughing at me, how I've always said this, I've always told them about, you know, I always said, oh, this, I'm surprised the government didn't have me killed off the crap I was saying because I was a big conspiracy theorist. Ended up being correct, ended up being that God was telling me so. I wasn't so crazy after all. So on top of all that, you know, I had this whole crazy thing going for me. You know, real winner right there, right? Then, you know, I didn't have nowhere to live. I was trying to sell my houses, and then my daughter ended up being, which is really weird, became a realtor. And even though I had sold my house, something would always stop the paperwork, and then I didn't get paid. So I didn't get none of my money from my houses. The one house money I did steal it. Somebody stole all the money from it. So I was just losing everything. Turned around and bought me a car. Somebody stole the title to my car. So I couldn't even turn around and sell it. And, you know, and I started telling my kid, I believe that was my own kid stealing from me. Well, that caused a rift between my kids until, lo and behold, last year, my boys started realizing that I was speaking the truth. Their sister started doing the same thing to them. But I was keeping my prayers, most definitely, because that witchcraft ain't no joke. I just don't. I just want God to come into her life because, you know, you don't want to witch hell on nobody. Not even your worst enemy, let alone your own kids, right? But God is good. So right about last year or so, I'll say about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, I don't know. It's been a year and a half. The pain was getting real bad with my cancer and stuff, and just lost my dad. God called me back home. I was at my lowest that I could possibly be, if you can imagine that. But all I've been through, but I cried in that song Rihanna sang, Lift Me Up. You know, I was singing that, and I was like, God, you know, all this stuff I'm going through, I just can't take it anymore. I need you. I was like, this is just too much going on with me. What can I do? And I was like, I just need God. So he called me back, and I've been home ever since. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. And I've never felt better in my whole entire life. Now, as much as all the horrible stuff that happened to me, I could surely bet that I had some pretty amazing stuff happen to me. I've done, was not only like the San Antonio's best bartender, but I was also a local celebrity. I've done 8 local movies. No, not porn, just so you know. They was actually just action movies and drama movies. Got my picture on that. I've walked the red carpet like 5-6 times already. You know, so I mean, I had pretty amazing stuff happen to me, along with the horrible, horrific badness. Sorry.